You could be 13 if you in the streets catching bodies. You a grown man. You playing grown man games. If you out here with 13 hats, like you saying, you a grown ass man. Okay. Like that's a dangerous motherfucker. That ain't no kid.
But you actually believe them when they say that?
Listen, I'm not saying I believe it. What I am saying is though, listen, people, listen, they sniffing perks. Listen, when you doing shit like that, I done been in jail with motherfuckers that done woke up and don't even realize what they really done because they coming down off the high. Sometimes it take a couple days. You could be getting high for a week straight. It may take a couple days to come down really off that high. They done came down off that high. They done, damn, I did what? So as long as a motherfucker stay drugged up, like you gotta think, they staying drugged up. Like if I would have popped a perk when I was popping perks and I popped a perk, that was gonna last me the whole interview. They had to hit that motherfucker a few times. I ain't got to hit that motherfucker a few days. It's going to last me the whole interview. I popped that perk, it was going to last me the whole interview. So they just go to show you they got to stay drugged up.
And from what has been shown, every time we see one specific one does interviews, he always makes sure he's high.
Oh, you said when who do interviews?
Okay, specifically Vert. Every time we seen Vert do an interview, he always has been drugged up. From what it seems, and it's like
drugged up. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these guys, not even just speaking on them, just in general, but them too mainly because they done started this trend. A lot of these guys don't because they just be young junkies. I'm telling you, you get them some rehab, sober them up. Man, I'm telling you, they gonna get that counseling in there. If you hear me, lucrative. They ain't even them. They realize that that's not even them. I'm telling you, they different. That's not even really. It's the drugs. It's the peer pressure. The influence. Cause listen, in your right mind, nobody is growing up. I done hung around white homies or some of my black homies. They may have did a little coke. That's normal. People sniff coke. Right. People smoke crack. People didn't just break down perks and sniff perks, especially on camera. That's what a motherfucker go to the bathroom and do. They don't even really let the guys know that shit. They'll go to the bathroom and do some shit like that because they don't even want you to know they doing sniffing no perk.
And they went on camera.
A nigga will try to bump some coke in front of you, one of the guys, before he bump a perk. I done seen one of the guys that bump some coke in front of you, but bump a perk. He know that's like a different look. You gonna look at his ass like, cause now it's a different look. Like, damn, you bumping a perk. Niggas in jail sniff they pills because they sniff coke in the world. They ain't got nothing to sniff in there. So it's like it's different. They get their exception because this the drug they got. This how they sniff. But you sniffing a perk just as this how I'm finna get high. Like that's just peer pressure. You're not telling me you waking up just sniffing no perk. That's not some shit that's out there in the world. That's not some shit that they putting in movies.
That shit not normal.
Thank you. That shit not normal. They not putting. Where do you see them branding motherfuckers sniffing perks into the end? They never put that shit in the world. Like a motherfucker sniffing a perk. Like, don't get me wrong. When I was coming up, I had to stop my white homies, and some of the guys they used to sniff their Zans, but they didn't do that shit in public. I caught them doing that shit in front of me one time. I blacked out because I had somebody with me too. And she like, oh, so this what y'all be doing when you be over here all the time. This why you like to be over here. And I was off the Zans heavy at the time. So I'm like, what? I'll black out because I know this ain't what I'm doing. I ain't sniffing no pill. I ain't never sniffed nothing up my nose. But if I'm going to sniff something, it would have been some coke. I'm not going to crush down my pill and sniff nothing. I'm not going to, that's just not me. Even dope, motherfuckers sniff they dope, but to break down your peel and sniff it is just like a different type of like. Go get you a bag at that point. What you like, and you sniffing a perk? That's an opioid. Go get you a bag at that point.
Yeah, and that video, where that interview specifically did 1 million views. Like the whole that shit would touch. That didn't touch just the city. That touched the rest of the world.
That touched 1 million people.
It touched 1 million people in the world. Even Meek Mill saw it, and he spoke against that shit.
Yeah, because you got to think.
Oh my bad. You go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, and to what Billy was saying in his interview when he was. And first off, him being the age he at, and them being the age they at, it is a major age gap for them to have personal issues. But he also spoke on how these niggas are young crash outs because like in his generation there was structure when it comes down to his beats and all that other shit. Where the kid would be, these guys they doing it all wrong, and they even had situations that got leaked. Like Lil Jeff when he died, from what has been said, and I really don't like talking about street shit at all, but just to point Billy's point, Jeff died. and his homies ran on him.
Yeah.
And the dude that killed him wasn't even on actual op. They was just actually trying to rob somebody. But still, crash outs. They doing this shit for the internet, for the character.
See,
when that's not really what they should be doing at all, according to Billy.
I don't know if they was trying to rob nobody. I don't know. I don't know the story behind it.
I don't know the story.
I don't know if they was on a hit or whatever they was doing.
They called it a hit.
I just know from the video.
Yeah.
He did get left. Like that that's why I say it goes back to what I say, niggas just be junkies. Niggas be young junkies. Nigga like I got it when I drop this album, I got a video I'm finna shoot to it though. When I drop this shit in the song, I mention it. Because like I know niggas from back in the day that was catching bees, got real bees under their belt. Some of them get high right now, but it's different. They got that killer in them. They was killers first. They wasn't getting off drugs just to go kill people. They was killing motherfuckers, and then just over the time somehow they just succumb to the drug. They just start using. Hey, it is what it is. Everybody got their addiction to something, so I don't judge a motherfucker for what they go through. The thing is with them is, they trying to make the youth think it's cool. Like that it's cool to get high, sniff perks and shit like that. It's not even cool to tell the youth to do perks. Like, so I was a motherfucker that used to do perks. That shit a real addiction. And that shit is an opioid, so it's dope basically. You just doing dope in the pill form. It's dope. You just doing dope. So we teaching the world and the kids to be dope heads. And this what led to that's the mindset. Yeah. And it just goes back to that's why he got left, because now niggas is up against some niggas who ain't high. They don't need a substance. They do this shit just to stay alive. They do it for what the purpose is, to stay alive and see the next day and be there for their kids. So they really doing this shit for real. And you ran into them type of guys. That's who they ran into. They ran into some motherfuckers who really, you feel me?
And on to the question, which is why I asked everything I asked leading up to this point. As the ones that's older than them and actually got more sense, they'll say that like, because y'all wise, y'all learned throughout mistakes, and they're young guys just making mistakes, but wrongfully influenced. Yeah. What can y'all do as the older ones to not only squash and die down this shit, but also influence them and the rest of the youth that we need to be different from what's currently going on as of now? Because that shit is unnecessary. And Liskoon, before he died, he was a senior in high school. He dropped out his senior year. He admitted that in the interview. These guys can get more influence and actually need to talk to y'all on some respectful and peaceful note versus going at it through songs and dissing overall.
You know, it's fucked up. Like, it goes back to what I said earlier. When I used to be a young nigga, in my mind, I used to be like, man, these niggas bitches. And so they ain't really trying to hear that shit right now. Cause what the fuck can you telling young nigga in his prime? Like, you can't really tell a young nigga shit. Like, they got this shit in their face. Like, they seeing the shit that's going on. Like some of them had good, promising careers with this rap shit. They did. So it's like, you just gotta look at it like that. Like, motherfucker ain't nothing you can do to change a motherfucker when they heart set on what they heart set on. And shit, you know, sometimes God give motherfuckers longevity, some motherfuckers don't. It's about what you put into this world. It's about, I know some niggas that they dish nothing but negativity into the world. Mm-hmm. They don't last long. Some niggas that they may have did they dirt, but you know, God know the heart. So, you know, motherfuckers get longevity. You know, you got killers and you got murderers, man. You got motherfuckers that just do shit just to do it, and you got motherfuckers that do shit because they had to. So it's like, when you just putting negative energy into the world, and what you expect to get out of it. You feel me? So a motherfucker can't really tell a motherfucker like that shit. You couldn't tell them nothing, man. And you can't tell a motherfucker like that nothing. They had record labels, deals, millions of views. Listen, I ain't never touched 1 million on one song yet. My biggest got like over 500,000. And I got a mean ass fan base. But see, I never did no marketing. All my shit is legit and authentic. The thing is, though, they got millions of views on major platforms. Like, ain't nothing you can do to, like, you feel me, trick a motherfucker into changing if that ain't what they want to do. You can't, you feel me? If they man set on murdering and killing and shit and destruction, what can you do? These labels offering shit they never had. They out here supposedly, allegedly robbing and killing motherfuckers for watches. Shit, these labels offering you that plus hundreds of thousands. Who really finna go risk their life for that shit? And you can just talk about the shit. Like,
for shit show. Oh, go ahead.
Shiny object syndrome.
motherfucker.
People, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People got shiny object syndrome. That's what I call them both.
They see that shit, and it just make them go. Motherfuckers, you show a motherfucker $100, you show a motherfucker $10, it just make them light up. So it motherfucker don't think the longevity and shit. Motherfucker don't think that. They just see what's in front of them.
And now to the next question. And this is on topic, but I interviewed Pussy Bacon, and it is our fourth interview. And we was talking about why he disrespected a 15-year-old artist, Q50 with Lil 50, and everything like that. I was basically first off, he said it not in the same way you did it, but he basically dissed him. But he did it in a way where if you listen closely, it'll make sense. You'll get his message. He basically saying it's fuck him. First off, the issues with his look, but outside of that, he is a part of the youth. From what he's saying, he is a part of the youth that's doing exactly what these guys doing, being young, crash outs, thinking it, and just living their image. But they had a promising career, and I was basically telling him what I'm telling you. At the end of the day, they're still just young and part of the youth. They don't even have enough time to grow. They deserved a second chance. He believed they had a chance, but they fucked it up because by putting negativity on the world, as you were saying. But overall,
if they deserve a second chance, they listen. Like I said,
Chicago Wave, what's your message to the youth?
There's a million things I could say to them, but if there's one thing that they need to know that I feel like they should know, I'm here for them.